What's up, guys? Overture Soul here, and I saw Tmartn's video a couple days ago where he talks about the possible leak that Black Ops 3 is going to be the next Call of Duty by some ex-Treyarch employee, and although it does seem implausible of them going back to a World War II scenario, I kind of thought about it a little bit, and I wanted to give, my thoughts about where they could go with the story and, how they could go about it. For those of you that haven't seen Tmartn's video, he basically talks about an ex-Treyarch employee goes on Reddit, the Call of Duty subreddit, and talks about that Black Ops 3 is going to be the next Call of Duty. He offered no proof at all, so again, this could be a complete speculation. It could be some troll out there making all of this up, but he stated that he worked on a couple of Call of Duties in the past. He basically said that the story is going to be leading up to the events of World War II and the start of the Second World War. And you play as this character that has not been introduced in the series before, and he gets placed in some insane asylum or something like that where he has flashbacks, and they're supposed to connect with Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. And I wanted to give my thoughts on how the story can go and what this game can become. Like they said, it goes back to World War II, and for those of you that played World at War, the guns in that game, mostly all the assault rifles were single shot, and a lot of people didn't like that. They wanted fully automatic weapons from Call of Duty 4, and the way that I thought that they can go about doing this is they kind of merge the story with zombies and this game. You know how in Zombies they show these four characters, how they go through time and stuff? Well, they can kind of do this with story, where, a crazy scientist goes back, joins up forces with, let's say, the Germans or something, and they create modern-ish type weapons, but they use resources from olden times. Let's say they make an M4 that's the stock, and a lot of the pieces are made out of wood or some kind of cheap metal or something. I don't know how they made weapons back then. I'm not a weapons expert, but it would be kind of cool to see, weapons made that were modern, but they were made in sort of the World War II times, using resources and the blueprints that they kind of had. It would be also kind of fun to see the whole story aspect of the armies fighting more guerrilla style. If you remember World at War, there was a lot of enemies that would hide in the trees and stuff. It'd be interesting to see the story mode kind of going in the same direction. And I know what you guys are thinking, this sounds bizarre, it doesn't sound realistic at all, why would they want to make a game around this? But think about it. Call of Duty has sort of had this whole modern era glow around it, and it's getting kind of old. Those of you who don't want to believe that that Call of Duty is getting old and that's going to be there forever, just think about it. How much longer can they keep coming up with modern weapons? How many times are they going to bring the M16 into the game before people are saying, we're kind of done with this? They can go in a completely different direction and just, have fun with the series, kind of make it bizarre, having these weird types of weapons that have wood stocks and they're just made out of weird designs, but they act like the modern weapons that we're used to. I just feel like they could do this and kind of revitalize the series. Another thing I would like to see in the new Black Ops campaign is they should merge some kind of zombie aspect into it. I remember in Black Ops 1 with the whole Nova gas thing, I was so prepared to just be ready for the soldiers to turn into zombies, and we're gonna have to deal with that. I think that would be a really good approach to how they do campaign, because all this stuff doesn't really have to make it into the multiplayer aspect, but it could be the thing that makes people want to play the campaign, because things have shown that people really like zombie games, and if they can kind of, add that into campaign as also, a separate zombie mode, I just think that Treyarch could, really benefit from this kind of thing. I'm just speaking of to my own mind, because honestly, World at War was my favorite Call of Duty, but I don't feel like I could go back to those style of weapons again where, you know, they had very little automatic weapons and, you know, more semi-auto. I want to have more, you know, a variety of weapons. Again, I don't really want to talk about the validity of the Reddit post. I just kind of watched Tmartn's video about the whole thing, and I wanted to, you know, run with it, you know, have a little fun with ideas of what the next Call of Duty could have. If you guys like the idea or you have your own idea of what the next Call of Duty should have, please put in the comments. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.